Hey, welcome back to the Garage Orloff Show. You know, I just discovered an entire box and a half, long boxes of old comic books that need to be alphabetized in with the rest of the collection. So that's what I think we'll do this fine morning here, January the 2nd, 2022, and we'll be one step closer to having the entire collection organized. Won't that be delightful? Let's see what kind of weather we have this morning. It's kind of a cloudy day. We're supposed to have some storms later. So it's a perfect day, ladies and gentlemen, to get organized. Now, there may be some noise in the background today because they're doing some work at the house next door. So hopefully it won't be too distracting. I was just watching some old Sesame Street episodes from 1969, 1970, trying to brush up on the alphabet so I can alphabetize these books properly. And I think I've got it down now. You know, some of those letters were getting a little mixed up in my mind around LMNOPQ, or that because I keep hearing LGBTQ, and I started doing the alphabet A B C D E F G H I J K LGBTQ, and it was getting it all mixed up. But I think I've got it. Or maybe I should just alphabetize the comic books and have G after L. I don't know. How do you guys? Do you guys do it that way? Yeah, let's see. Next door, they're doing some construction work that involves a crane. And they talk back and forth to each other. And those the noises of their talking, their interaction, might disturb our program today. But it's all right. We've had worse disruptions here on the Garage Orloff television program. Like, I still can't find my tripod, and I've looked, I moved the whole couch. God damn, like the light falling over, ladies and gentlemen, that was going to be, and this is the lighting system that I was going to use today. This vintage lamp just fell right over, man. And, okay, stay. Okay, the light is now working. Now, perhaps I'll be using our microphone here today to prop up the camera. Since, all right. So, that's not going to work. Maybe this. Let's see if this works. Heck with that. All right. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, is that a good angle? Okay, so what are we gonna do here, man? What are we gonna do? All right, so I pulled the first box out from the collection, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what we're going to be looking at here are comic books from the Bronze Age up to the wretched present day are going to be in these boxes. And it's all Marvel and DC mixed up, 1971 and up. Have all been alphabetized. All my Silver Age books are on another wall, all alphabetized, separate from these books. All right, so over here, I've got the books that need to be put. I'll show you. I've got a whole long box of comics need to be put in, and it goes to about here. And then I've got some Dennis the Menace that I'll put in a separate box. Dennis the Menace cannot be trusted to be with the rest of the books because he's a menace, a pestilence, a destructive entity, Dennis the Menace. Possessed by perhaps a legion of devils and demons. Dennis the Menace worships Beelzebub. And okay. Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I consider this to be Silver Age because when DC went to this 25-cent deal, and when they stopped that and went to 20 cents, that's when I start the Bronze Age. So I'm actually going to put this book that I just discovered into the Silver Age. Because that's how I roll here on the Gratu Orloff Show. Well, I've been doing last couple of episodes have been interesting experiments. I used to be into old radio. I still am. But as a 6th, 7th grader, I'd go to the library, the public library, and down in the basement, they had all the media, right? And of course, the media in 1976, 77, there wasn't even VHS yet. There was audio cassette, or you had record albums, which you youngsters out there call vinyls. Anyway, so you could check these out, right? So you could check out cassettes, but I preferred the record albums. Oh, you could also check out 8mm, Super 8, 16mm films to project in your home. But they had a whole section of old-time radio, and I would check those out, play them on my childhood phonograph, and then I would have my childhood tape recorder, Panasonic tape recorder, next to it, and I would record these old-time radio shows, which part of the... I keep talking about all the nostalgia boom of the 1970s were for the 30s and 40s, and they put out all those books collecting the old Flash Gordon comic strips and all of that. And there were magazines that came out. I think Marvel put out one called Nostalgia Illustrated, but there were other ones. They revived Liberty just as a nostalgia magazine. And they had, but so there were all these guys nostalgic for the 30s, and then there was another nostalgia boom in the 70s for the 50s with the Grease Broadway play and later movie and Happy Days and American Graffiti. But the old-time radio was part of that, and I have neglected to mention that. So anyway, I really got into that. So I started with my audio recorder, started to do... oh, and the other thing I loved is I discovered they played it on the radio, man. They used to have comedy shows on the radio where they'd play bits from different comedy albums. Usually they'd do that on Sunday on the rock and roll stations because the FCC said, you can't just be all music all the time. You have to show to the FCC that you do positive contributions to the community. So on Sunday mornings, the heavy rock and roll stations, Q102, album rock kind of things, they would have talk shows where they would discuss movies and what's going on in the news. You couldn't really talk about politics back then at all on the radio because they had I think it was called the Fairness Doctrine. And if you had if you talked a liberal point of view, or if you had a liberal candidate for office on, you have to give equal time. That was the equal time. That's what it was to a Republican. And of course, they're never going to do that. So they didn't talk about politics. They talk about UFOs or talking cats or have someone come on reviewing the latest movies. Raging Bull is a great new motion picture. All that. And and then they would also they'd have the comedy hour, and they'd play stuff from comedy records. And anyway, they try to do some other stuff other than just the evil Led Zeppelin music. And so I would really get into that. And this is the early days of the Church of the Subgenius. The Ivan Stang, Philo Drummond. There used to be this guy on Q102. He would come on Sunday mornings. He would do his talk show routine. And I swear, I'm almost positive that was Ivan Stang, now knowing what I know now. This is about 78, 79. I've got it on tape somewhere. Every call this guy got was a prank call from, very good prank calls from these Subgenius guys. And he was about to pull his hair out. I later met the guy because years later, the guy turned out to be a friend of a good friend of mine's older brother, this DJ, that was going crazy. And it turned out he was nuts, one time, because my friend's older brother was, what was it, a Class A machine gun dealer. He was someone that actually was a gun dealer. And then his friend, this DJ, I remember one time he thought he was a gun expert, and he shot a hole in the ceiling of the house. Anyway, so I was into old time radio. So I'd make my own old time radio shows on my recorder, and I would make up characters. Oh, I forgot what I was talking about. They have these comedy shows, and one time they played a parody of an old time radio show. It was called Nick Danger, Third Eye. And I later found out it was from a group called the Firesign Theater. So I had to seek out the Firesign Theater, because if you ever look up The Adventures of Nick Danger, Third Eye, I'm sure it's here on YouTube. It's a parody of old time radio that is absolutely 100% on par with Harvey Kurtzman's EC Mad. It's hilarious. Anyway, so I started doing my own little salutes to old time radio, and so lately, last couple of days, I thought, well, why don't I find a place online where I can get Golden Age comics and use different voices. I'm not very good at voices, but I try to read these old Golden Age comics online. I tried doing that the last few days. But, yesterday, in the past on StreamYard, I used to be able to open up different windows and play machine gun fire or dramatic music, and I'd have that all playing at once, and then StreamYard would pick it all up, and it would make a mixture of it. And StreamYard won't let that happen anymore. I don't know why. If I can hear the sounds, it's not showing. Anyway, yesterday I had some really cool dramatic music and machine gun fire, and none of it appeared. Except you hear me pausing for a long time while I'm manipulating that, and you just wonder what's he doing. Anyway, I don't know if people enjoy that or not, but if you do, let me know, and I'll keep doing that. Okay, so I'll put this into a bag. Action Comics number 411. I'm not getting a lot done because I am talking too much, ladies and gentlemen. Will it fit in the bag? Why, yes, quite well. Okay, so this book goes elsewhere. Oh, and this is another one. This looks like, doesn't that look like one of the Wonder Twins? This little Spock-looking idiot. Turn him over to a Superman. You don't know how evil he is. He's obviously evil. He's got pointy ears and pointy eyebrows. Stay back. I don't care what he's done. He's still my son. Yes. Wonder Twin powers activate. Yeah, I'll put this with the Silver Age books as well, ladies and gentlemen, which I'll be getting into the Silver Age books and putting, I've got a bunch, well, not as many as this, but I've got books I need to put in there too. Okay, here's a book that is definitely not Silver Age. Action Comics 630. That one was, what did we just look at? We just looked at 411 and 410. Okay, well this is later Action Comics, where they have other characters in here as well. This is, well, I reckon late 80s, $1.50. Yeah, I've got to get that magnifying glass in the other room, or this is going to be a very frustrating show. Anyway, this is, and then I've got another Action Comics where Superman is some kind of evil motherfucker. And then I've got an Adventure Comics, which is in a My Light. I just need a board to put in there. I got a bunch of My Lights in the late 80s when they were the state of the art. Okay. Okay, so let's start looking through the collection here. Oh, and there's some books in here that need to be sleeved too. Here's the first one we see is Action Comics number 417. You know, perhaps that light needs to be farther away. It's starting to mess with me, man. Anyway, I like old-time radio and reading those old Golden Age comics. It's kind of fun because it's like I can recreate old-time radio, or if nothing else, recreate like your grandfather reading the Sunday funnies to you. There used to be a show in Dallas on Channel 8, I think, or was that out of Fort Worth? This guy Bill Kelly, he would read the Sunday funnies every Sunday morning to the kids. He had a show called The Children's Hour. Okay, wonderful. Okay, here, oh, fuck. This is a beat, well, I don't know. People told me I should send it to CGC. This is not a childhood copy. I don't treat comics like this. It doesn't even have a back cover. I guess I should sleeve it. Do I have a... I have all these modern sleeves, and I'm still working on all these sleeves that were donated to me from Captain Strangeliffe. I've gone through a big number of them, and they've been very appreciated. I don't think I'm even going to bother sleeving that. This one definitely needs to be upgraded, I would think. It's so bad I probably shouldn't even have it in here. That's 417. This is 427. Okay. Here's 431. Maybe if I turn this a little bit, we won't get as much of the glare from the camera. 431. And that one, the next one I've got to put in here is 630. So let's see. What? Oh, I guess I have two copies of 431. 435. We're getting closer to the 600s. Oh, this is a good cover. 440. Oh, I love these. 443. It's a 100-page giant. They were selling these comics at Walmart for a while where they tried to mimic this 100-page giant masthead. I've got another copy of the same issue. This one seems to have a subscription crease. I think, oh, this is my, the first Action Comics I ever bought as a kid, 444. So this is my childhood copy. Notice it's in much better condition than the copies bought by other people that I later bought and put into my collection. Here's 445, Lois Lane looking very stylish. Um, 449. And another copy of 449. It's good to go through your comics because then you realize, shit, I've got too many copies of that issue, and that prevents you from buying another one. Oh, here comes Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat up here on the 3rd floor of the Gratu Orloff mansion. 451. Blop. Pete the Cat, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Pete the Cat? The cat's no longer just hanging out in the... Uh-oh. Now the dog is chasing the cat. Did you hear that sound effect? Here's the dog likes to hang out in this guest bedroom. But now the cats are starting to like to hang out in there. So it's like contested gang territory, this guest bedroom. Alan the cat discovered it and likes to hang out on that bed, but that's been Drew's territory for a while. Now, they need to come up with gang names for the dog and for the cats. I think we're gonna call Drew. Your gang's gonna be called the Perros, man. Kind of like the Pharaohs in American Graffiti. You're gonna be the Perros. Even though you're just one dog, he's gonna be the Perro, man. He's gonna be a lone. It's gonna be a lone wolf club. He's just one guy. He's a lone wolf. Remember in Laverne and Shirley, they used to hang out with these two hoodlums that were kind of mentally disabled. Lenny and Squiggy. And I think it was it Lenny or Squiggy that had he had a leather jacket or something made, and he had told him to write Lone Wolf, but instead they wrote One Wolf. So Laverne had to give one of her embroidered L's to put on there to make it Lone Wolf. You know, nowadays people get tattoos with misspellings and stuff. It's like it's a little more serious. Oh, here's the gig. What did I just fucking do? I put a bag on something. 449, 451. So the cats will be Los Gatos. Okay, here's the classic cover that everyone loves. 454 with the conspicuous consumption of all the. Get out of the way, Drew, motherfucker. Don't chew on that comic box, motherfucker. Yes, this is 454. More burgers. Chomp. Keep them coming, gulp, or I'll starve to death. What? But you've already eaten enough for an army. What I'd like to see is Superman involved in a fight at a Waffle House, where he has to break up a fight. There's this great online viral Waffle House fight. It apparently happened a year ago, but someone just now released the footage and it's become viral. I think it happened last September. Well, anyway, it's pretty amazing. This group of customers is angry that they're not being served quick enough, even though they sat in a section they were told not to sit in because the restaurant was backlogged and that section was closed. But anyway, they get into this fight. One woman jumps up on the counter and falls off. But there's this blonde lady that's the only cook that's there. I've seen like an interview where someone found her, and she, this woman throws a chair back behind the counter at the Waffle House cook, and she catches the chair, man, like she's, oh shit. Drew, you're looking for stuff to chew on, so that means that Drew is hungry. So let's go feed Drew, the dog, before some tragedy happens. Come on, Drew the dog. Now, I fed her this morning. I think she... Oh, shit, I left this door open. This is not good. Ah, shit. Almost closed the door on my finger. Let's head on down to the snack bar where there's wonderful things to eat. Drew, would you like to have a hot dog? Here comes Drew. How about some popcorn? Okay. Caesar. While we're down here, I think I'll get myself a nice, refreshing drink from the snack bar refrigerator. Come on, Drew, this is filet mignon flavor. Or as it's properly pronounced, filet mignon. Filet mignon. Okay. Now this looks horrible, man. I mean, look at it. The label is, or as you would call it, the trade dress is horribly designed. It's very ugly looking. The XXX makes it look like it's poison, or perhaps pornographic. And it's called vitamin water. You would never think this is delicious. But I discovered with my wife's suggestion at Subway, that's just the only chain restaurant here locally, that they had it on tap. and it was incredibly delicious. And I thought, well, who is this? How is this so good? And my wife told me it's always been great. It's just I've never thought to drink something called vitamin water. And this is called the Acai Blueberry Pomegranate flavor. It's quite good. It just looks ugly. My wife told me some famous rapper has bought this company. Dr. Deadly or Dr. something. Dr. E, I don't know. There is, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're looking at Action Comics. Action. Action Jackson is my name. Bold adventure is my game. Yes, indeed. This is the cover that everyone likes to laugh at. I'm not sure why. He's just revealing his identity. Some people think something bad's about to happen. But you know, something bad might happen here 30 minutes later. If you've seen enough adult films, you might imagine. Let's see. But we don't watch those films. Let's see, Action Comics 461. Getting closer to 600. Here's 462. This is a special crypto story in it. Oh shit, is that the first UPC code? No, it was on the last one. See, this one does not have the dreaded Mark of the Beast. That's 30 cent. Okay, in the 30 cent era, I guess around 76, 77, probably. Nah, 76. DC salutes the bicentennial. Yeah, the big centennial, man. That's when America has 200th birthday, man. Don't you mess around with the big centennial, man. That's, well, everybody was all proud of America, unlike today. But freaking communists trying to bring America down. President Biden, nobody voted for that for. Says the most popular president of all time. That's a bunch of BS bullshit, man. BS alert. He ain't the most popular president. 467, man. That's a good one, man. I remember reading that one. Here's 469, ladies and gentlemen. 470. Superman is just, he doesn't like that cowboy, man. He's no good. It's not a real cowboy, man. 471, Superman's beating up a ghost. Oh my gosh. Why, look at this. There's no number on it because the Whitman company covered up the number. Whitman. A Whitman variant. I think this is a pretty high dollar issue, as I recall. Superman has, why does Superman have a car? Well, why not? He's Superman. No, it was to sell toys. So they put it in the comic to sell toys. So, anyway, Whitman, Overstreet Price Guide back then told us these comics were worthless, that they were reprints. The Whitmans were reprints. Then we later learned, no, they were the same original press run. They just stopped the presses and covered up this element and this element of the trade dress with Whitman. And they're in smaller quantities, so it's very important to buy these because they're very valuable. And of course, you know, they got a little Superman there in the UPC code. These were sold in packs of 3 for like, I don't know, as I recall, 79 cents for 3 comics. 472. How about that? 473. He's taking on the villains that he would later fight, you know, in Superman 2. 474. We're getting closer and closer to the magical 600s. That's a Kurt Schaffenberger cover. It sure is. Here's 475. This is starting it. I remember now holding up these comics is rough on the arms. But when I tried to do those radio show readings of the Golden Age comics, what I discovered the first night I did that is I had to keep going out of the room to blow my nose. All that shouting and dramatic acting started causing my nose to run. 477. This Superman, that's what I would look like if I put on a Superman suit, ladies and gentlemen. 478. How about that? Oh, it's the 40th anniversary issue. Oh, this is a highly collectible, sought-after book. 484. Superman's getting married, but it's actually the Superman that appeared in Action Comics #1, which is a Superman of a different world. No worries, no damage. Look at my childhood copy. It's in perfect condition. What did you call it, my childhood copy? When did this come out? 35-cent era. I was born in 65. I would have been 10 in 1975. We're probably up to about 1980 here. 15, are you a child? I don't know. They had 15-year-olds fighting for the German army at the end of World War II, didn't they? So maybe you're not a child anymore. 485. It's a Neil Adams cover. How about that? It's kind of a salute to his own. He's saluting himself. He's saluting his cover that he did back a few years before, Kryptonite No More. This book has no bag or board. It's Buckler and Giordano, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put a bag and board on this book, courtesy of Captain Strangelove. Okay, 486. $486. 487. How about that? Uh-oh, more books without. Here's another one of the same issue, but without a bag or a board, ladies and gentlemen. It's the super origin of Microwave Man. I could go get my magnifying glass in the other room. We're still in 1979, so I would have been 14. It's a newsstand variant, man. It's valuable, man. No shit, boy. Newsstand. They're very valuable. Actually, in 1979, I think most of the comics still were newsstand. It was as the years went by, the newsstand editions became more rare, ladies and gentlemen. More rare and sought after. 486, 487. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tape it later sometime. Probably never. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I got 2 copies of that same issue. And here's 488 with that famous villain, Microwave Man. Oh man, you gotta see this. Drew is carrying her food and her bone. She does this, man. She's like possessive, man. She's materialistic. It's like she doesn't want the cats to get her food. She carries the food, and the bone is, she treats it like a baby, that little rubber bone. So she's carrying the food and the bone around, and at least that's keeping her mouth occupied. So she's not chomping down on these highly collectible Microwave Man appearances. So I have 2 copies of that issue as well. It's only 50 cents, ladies and gentlemen. That really sucked when comics went up to 50 cents. Krypton dies again. And why not? We're going to keep bringing that planet back and keep blowing it back up. It looks so cool. Looks so cool when it blowed up, man. All those Kryptonians blowed up. Let's blow them up 1,000,000 times, man. Blow them up. 489. We're still trying to get to the 600s. How long will this take? The vision that drove Superman mad. $4.90. Again, another book without a bag and board. You got to keep these highly collectible books. Look, Battlestar Galactica, man. Talk about highly collectible, man. That's the Viper, and that's the Cylon Raider, man. Yeah, sure enough. How about that? Battlestar Galactica collection, ladies and gentlemen. I had high hopes for that show, and I watched every episode, and it just somehow, everyone thought it was going to be Star Wars on television, but somehow it just didn't quite get it. It's Superman 491, needs a bag and board. Sure does. So how have you guys been doing? It's January 2nd, 2023 in the year of our Lord. And it feels so much different, 2023. So what do you think? Do you guys have predictions of how this year is going to go? I'm just waiting for the next Trump rally so we can see the giant numbers of people. So all these people that are telling you that Trump was just done for, man. He's old news. No one wants him anymore. DeSantis, that's the way to go. And all the mess, and I like DeSantis, but when all the media keeps telling you that we need to go for DeSantis, I don't trust those people, man. Do you? Of course, you may hate Trump. Of course you might. But then you will be wrong. 492. I just wish he realized and admit that he was wrong about these things that we can't talk about because we don't have freedom of speech. 4088. That's the problem Alex Jones has with Trump. 491. What are they doing next door now? Creating all kinds of disruption. Oh, there's Alan the cat over there. Man, all the animals are up here on floor 3. All the animals, huh? 493, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen all 3 pets today. No, I didn't show you Alan, but trust me, he's here. He's here and he's queer. Here's Batman Twinkies ad. Frederick Wortham said that about Batman. He needs to get out of here with his white privilege, Batman. You know, he's just a rich white man. We don't want to read about him. 491, 492, 492, 493, 494. The ghost of General Patton is about to blow Lois Lane's brains out, and she can't do anything about it. So, fuck her. 495. It's another adventure of Superman. 496. Yes. Wait a second. We're in 40 cents. Oh, that's right. Comics were 35 cents. Then DC had the bold idea of raising the price to 50 cents, and then they brought it back down to 40 cents. They realized, oh, we fucked up. Yes. There's another copy of that same historic key issue. 497. Superman is throwing the Daily Planet building at the sun. Or maybe that's not the sun. No, it's a huge meteor. It's a meteor. It's a meteor loaded with deadly kryptonite, man. If you don't hit it dead center, Metropolis will just be one big crater, man. Yeah. 40 cents. 497. It's all new. No reprints here, man. Oh, look at that. They're advertising Time Warp, which was a good book. An all-out war. Oh, see, now DC's going to the dollar comics. This makes it look like they had dollar comics and 40-cent comics at the same time. That's not my memory. Is they moved all their bucks to $1, but maybe I'm wrong. $4.97. $4.97. Oh, this is one of those dumb things. You can just pull it. You don't have to use tape. And then these wind up stuck to everything. $4.97. I don't know if I'm even gonna get to the inserting one comic from this newly discovered box and a half of comics. $4.98. Also needs a bag and board. Sure does. So what are your predictions for the new year? Do you think the space aliens will reveal themselves to us here? Who will be president at the end of the year? $4.99. These people are making too much noise next door. Oh, yeah, okay. This puts us in, now we know where we're at on the timeline. It's when Star Trek the Motion Picture came out. Was it just me, or did you really miss the real Star Trek uniforms in that movie? They'd switched to wearing these light blue pajamas in the future. One thing Trump did really well was change the military uniforms to look more like they did back in World War II. I'm sure that Biden's already switched it back, but that was good. My father was retired as a full colonel. He always had this cool hat, like you see Steve Trevor wear in the Wonder Woman show, That was always cool. I've got his hat on a pig mannequin down in the basement. I guess that's not respectful, but it's just a cool hat, man. But then, when my father passed away, the current military hat was just this little cap, or a beret maybe. Maybe it was a beret. So when he was in his coffin, he was wearing this. That's not how I remember him. They should have put him with the uniform that he wore when he was in the service instead of this newly designed ridiculous stuff. But I had no say in that. Here's issue. I'm talking about all this morbid stuff. Here's issue 500, which is really nicely designed cover. It's $1 issue. It's October 1979, so it would have been 14. Zero. Hi, Drew the dog. How are you? When Drew runs across the floor in the living room downstairs, this board's too big. These are Silver Age boards. When she runs, it sounds like a Western, or it sounds like the beginning of the Gunsmoke radio show or the Lone Ranger. You hear this, it just sounds like a horse galloping. It's cool. Look, they're blowing up kryptonite again. Look at all that green. That's a good idea to make it look all green coming from the explosion, because that's all the kryptonite being sent out. But look, his rocket ship looks a little bit like the Batmobile. Sure enough. Oh, they used to put these little colored sections on. I don't ever hear anyone talk about this on YouTube, but they would have different colored little ink sprays every month. And I'm sure that younger comic collectors think that's some defect, or it's going to cause their comic to get a lower grade at the CGC or something, which is all they care about. But no, what they would do is, that was the way that the dealer could tell which comics came out what month and which ones to pull, because they had been there on the stand too long and needed to be returned. Every month had a different color sprayed at the top. And so they're all going to be that way. It's not a defect. And that was done for a while. I don't know how long, but if you've got a whole long box of comics and they're not bagged and boarded, you'll really notice those. Here's issue 501. I really should put that new bag and board, but let's save the bags and boards for ones that don't even have them at all. Here's 503. Superman tasting the rainbow. The LGBTQ rainbow. Here's a nice Star Wars ad. Superman's pronouns are fuck and you. He don't give a shit about anything, man. Superman, he got bit powers, man. He's a strong man. 503. 503, man. 503. That's how much money I got in the bank right now. 503. Oh, I always like this cover, man. I always like this little ape monster, man. Looks like my Uncle Billy. 505. There it is, man. The LGBTQ rainbow Star Trek motion picture. That's really how horrible. The rainbow was what God gave us, right? To show he would never destroy us by flood anymore. But he didn't say we might not. Well, I'm not going to destroy you, at least by flood. Maybe something else. But anyway, it's been stolen. It's been co-opted by what did Jack Kirby call them? The pronoun people. Oh shit! This has got a tear. Look at that, a tear. A tear in the space-time continuum, ladies and gentlemen. Full 505. Maybe I have 2 copies of this. And I do indeed. So one has a tear, one doesn't have a tear. I'll put the bad one in back. Oh, look, and the ape monster returned the next issue, 506. Man, this guy looks pretty happy. Or really stoned. He looks like the Archie gang in those Christian Spire Archie comics where they all have their eyes just wide open like they're ready for the Jim Jones cup of Kool-Aid, man. Here's 507 Action Comics. There's a lot of these action comics that do not seem to have bags and boards. This does not bode well, because as we go through each box, hopefully it won't be so dire. 507. Here's 510, man. Look at that, man. It's Lex Luthor, man. Why Superman's girlfriends, Lana Lang, Lois Lane, Laurie Ramirez, this major villain, Lex Luthor. His last name is L, Kal-El, Jor-El, his father. What is up with all the L's? It's the name of God, Elohim, right? The creators of Superman, Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster, must have been paying attention in synagogue, and they put all this God symbolism into their comic book. Yes. But and you know, all this, you know, I realized later that the Watcher, you know, the Watchers in the Fantastic Four books, that's That's from the Bible too. So I'll go ahead and give that to Jack Kirby, not to Stan Lee, because I'm pretty sure Jack Kirby probably drew that in, and then Stan Lee says, "What's that supposed to be, Jack?" "Well, those are the Watchers, Jack or Stan. Don't you remember in the Bible?"
Oh yeah, sure. We call them the Watchers.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Well, I was watching the Geeky Puppet Theater show the other night, and there was a guy that did a dead-on Stan Lee impression. Incredible. 517. We're looking at probably don't have anyone watching anymore. It's probably a good thing. Because I'm showing you not the most glamorous era, although this is certainly better than anything of today. Okay, well, we're getting close to 600, 532. Look at that, man. About that. We're up into the 60-cent era. Oh, enter the Omega Men. Enter. And look. Oh, this one doesn't have a bag or a board. How about that? 536. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nothing I hated more than Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't want to offend you because I figure some of you might love that shit. 536.
I just want to be a dungeon master. I always wanted to be a dungeon master, and they never let me be the dungeon master, so
God, my eyes look weird. It's like one eye's looking off a different direction. I must be. 537. Come on, 600. 539. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Was it 600? 543. Neutron.
Everybody's doing a neutron dance.
She died the other day. 544. One of the Pointer Sisters. I don't know. 546. And that Nazi Pope died. And Baba Wawa. 572. And probably a lot of people that really mattered too. Oh, this is the page 583. I'm sorry, number 583. This was a very sad issue. This actually will bring you to tears if you're a real human being, because this is the real Superman flying away. Goodbye, Superman. We'll miss you, because they're gonna destroy everything in Crisis on Infinite Earths and bring us into this John Byrne era, 585, which everyone loves, and I'm not gonna insult it. It's just I like the Mort Wessinger shit, man. Okay, here's 589. Superman saving a little pointy-eared elf girl. Sure enough. Superman and the Green Lantern Corps, or as Barack Obama would pronounce it, corpse. He's talking about the Marine Corps. What a fucking moron. Yeah, you're the leader of the military as the president, right? And you're going to call it the Marine Corps. We're here to salute the Marine Corps. 583. This is where it gets, this pissed me off. Superman's going to make like a porno movie with Big Barda, and but he's been hypnotized. But does that belong in a kid's comic? I ask you. Here's a key issue. So that's valuable because perverts like it. 598, this introduces Checkmate, which I guess is a minor key issue for people that like Checkmate. Here's another. Oh, I got 2 copies of this key issue, man. I'm speculating, man. I'm speculating they're going to bring Checkmate into the 2nd season of Peacemaker, man. Here's 600, Golden Anniversary issue. John Byrne's trying to make it look like one of those classic issues from around the late 60s. Okay. 601. This is right from the dollar bin. See, it says dollar on it. There's 604. Doesn't even have Superman on the cover. That's questionable. But I don't know. Okay, what is this one I'm trying to put in here? I got to get up to 630. This has the Secret Six, Back from the Dead. Secret Six is one of those 60s comics that no one really collected. Oh, a Brian Boland cover. Very nice. Very nice. What's going on with her boob, man? Oh, man. I thought she had a very strange, deformed boob. But in reality, that's just her jacket loop, her boob is actually about like there. That's the jacket coming out. But from a distance, it looks like, man, starting to droop there, Black Canary. 609. Uh, 614. 618. Oh, this is a tribute to that old Silver Age Detective Comics or Batman cover. So they're even starting to do those tribute covers. This is actually a good era of Action Comics. My wife has just sent me a text. Did you eat? No, I didn't. 6:20. I need to go ask her. She's just waking up. I'm doing this show early in the morning here. 6:21 and Black Hawk. Eventually they'll give Superman back his comic. I mean, he's I guess in the next issue. But I think he's always in these. It's just they get other characters and they rotate the covers. That's actually the way Action Comics originally. I think some of the early issues of Action Comics didn't have him on the cover, but nobody, we're talking about real early. This is 624. This is a very good cover. 624. Oh, I've got 2 copies of it. That's why, because the cover is very striking. I have 3 copies of it because the cover is very striking visually. And reasons. 626, Dead Man. Okay, we're at 634. So we'll slip 630 in. All right, so we've actually made some progress this morning. Now my wife's calling. There's another 634. I better go upstairs to the 4th floor and see what's up. Okay, hold your horses. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's look at this, the Mummy Machine. Speaking of that, I just noticed a really cool, the next issue, the next episode of 4-Color Fossils on Wednesday. Graphic Man's put up a cool little promo video picture for it. It's got a Dr. Silver Age as the mummy grabbing a guy in a wrestling move, you know. Dr. Silver Age is into wrestling. And so Dr. Silver Age will be back. That's great. On the next exciting episode of Four Color Fossils, which is about 48 hours from now. This is 6:35. Oh, here's one that is not bagged and boarded. Oh, yeah, this is when those British artists were drawing all these titty covers. Thing. Those are titties. It's got an unfortunate spine tick. But look at the Atari Advantage, you know. Let's get this bagged and boarded, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the Demon, Speedy, all these characters in it. I don't know if I like this Phantom Lady hairstyle, but she looks good on the cover. Well, we got back into watching the third season of Stargirl. We're on about to start the third episode. It's the final season, unfortunately. It didn't last. I've been trying to tell all of you guys to watch it, but apparently no one believed me because it's a show on CW. It's actually good. Someday people will realize it and I'll be vindicated. But that day is not today. What? 6:35, 6:36. And then we have to get caught up with that R-rated Teen Titans show, and what else is there? 6:38. And Doom Patrol, which is also an R-rated show. Oh, another, every few issues they cycle through a titty cover from Brian Boland, who's a very good girl artist. Her face is starting to get. She's like someone on meth that's just on the cusp of getting to be unattractive, but they're still pretty. But if they just spend 2 more days smoking meth, they're gonna become like horrible. So she's right on the cusp between being pretty and being a meth whore. But the way to correct that, ladies, is to go to Taco Bell. The more you eat, the less you'll look like a meth whore. Take that from Dr. Kratu Orloff. Taco Bell, if you're unfortunately addicted to fentanyl or meth, just simply eat more, and you won't look like as bad. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is in a fucking shit. Why are these? Honestly, why are they stuck together? It's because I discovered one of my old titles. It's Kratu Orloff, and it was stuck in here. Now I have a title card, ladies and gentlemen, for our show. I'll use that next episode. Did you hear that? You cannot kill what it's already dead. That's a World Wrestling Federation clock. It only talks when there's light on in the kitchen there, and usually I don't have the light on, ladies and gentlemen. But today, we have the lights on. Oh, we had a horrible news. We were on, our electric bill is astronomical here because there's only one electric company and there's no competition. And of course, we've got a big house. And you see all these lights on, you figure, well, that serves him right. He has every light on. I only have all these lights on during the show so that you can actually see the show. And usually I live in darkness. But, so we had average billing because we got like a ridiculously high bill. And it was like $400, $430 or something. And then we got this, my wife got an email that ruined our Saturday brunch. That you're using more, it's going to need to be $700 a month and average billing. So we need to call them because, like, what did it cost last month? You know, what did it cost? You know, different months, so we can figure out. figure out, should we go with average billing or not. Yeah, this board's too big. This board is too small. This board is just, fuck it. We'll worry about that another day. 639. Action 639. Now, I think they're still publishing Action Comics and using the original numbering, and they're up over 1,000 now. Here's 643. George Perez unfortunately passed away in the last year. Okay, so that's 643. Yeah. Let's get out of Action Comics, man. I'm getting sick of this. 648. Oh, here's some that need 662. This isn't the issue. No. No. Oh, this has that weird ghost character with the big hair. No, there was an issue. I have it. It was an issue of Superman, possibly not Action Com. I have 2 copies of this issue. What it was, there was an issue, it was in the 70s, I think, where they explain, you know, because everyone always says, well, why are they all so stupid in Metropolis? Why is it that Lois Lane can't see that Clark Kent is obviously Superman? You know, well, how could she be so stupid? I mean, she's a reporter, pays attention to detail. By the way, this major university was giving us our new speak lessons. These certain words you can't use anymore, like you can't say walk in anymore. You have to say drop in, because some people can't walk and that'll hurt their feelings. And they said, don't use OCD anymore. Say detail oriented. That is not. Detail oriented is an accountant, like a good accountant. OCD is like a whole nother level. That's bullshit, man. Anyway, so they explained it in an issue. They came up with this explanation, which I don't know if anyone else, if it's still part of official canon or not. Anyway, supposedly the glass in Superman's glasses comes from the rocket ship he was sent to Earth in as a baby. So that's why he can, use his heat vision through his glasses, and it won't melt the glasses, right? So the glass is impermeable, but it also creates some kind of refraction. So when he puts the glasses on, it bends the light and changes his face so he looks like a different person. So the glasses actually create the illusion. Here's 694. That's kind of a Tron-looking cover. She must, oh yeah, she's some kind of video game pixelated character, I guess. That's why, supposedly. Of course, in the Christopher Reeve movies, Superman was real slick. When he became Superman, he would part his hair on the other side. Did you notice that? Okay, rip it to 706, where Superman is now replaced by Supergirl. This needs a cover. A back and board, ladies and gentlemen. What do we have here? Groundbreaking, Rise of the Robots. Wow. Oh, there's more shit I've got to put in here. I forgot about this one. This is just an annual, so I put that at the very end, which I think I'm almost to the end of Action Comics. Where am I? Okay. 702. Here's 806, straight from the dollar bin. Okay, that was 706, and then I go straight to 806. You could tell I kind of stopped buying it for a while. Here's 844. This one, they had Richard Donner write the actual script, the original Superman director. Okay, here's Action Comics annual note from 1989. Okay. And then here's a copy of that one, also from the dollar bin. And here's another copy. So, all right, that's the end of Action Comics. And I have a lot of Action Comics from the 50s. Not a lot from the 50s, but a lot from the 60s. And you've seen those before, but if you want to see them again, I could show them to you. Here's Adam Strange, Joe Kubert cover. Now we're moving into Adventure Comics. This one is a beat-up copy, but it still needs a bag and board. Of course. Will this fit it? Why, yes. This is the origin issue, Adventure Comics 428. Of course, I have tons of Adventure Comics earlier than this that are, you know, the Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, these model kits. I have one of them. I have that one, or at least parts of it left in the box down in the basement. I'll show it to you if you want to see it sometime. I got to do more work in the basement, so I may film some shows in the basement soon as I go through things, trying to sort out the mess down there so that the arcade can live again. Adventure 428. Oh, we're about to move into Weird Adventure because horror comics had taken over in the 1970s. There's another copy of that same issue. I just love this cover. This character never took off. No pun intended, as she's about to take off. But see, they've got bats and everything, so it's kind of really a horror-looking cover. But everything was horror on the spinner rack in the early 70s, and I just love the look of this character. How is this character? Oh, well. How is this character not more popular? 430. Perhaps the writing wasn't up to the amazing art. Okay, so here's 431, The Wrath of the Spectre. These were very gruesome, wonderful stories that Michael Fleischer wrote. Here's 432 of Adventure Comics. And then, of course, with 433, they just go ahead and start calling it Weird Adventure Comics. Oh, this wonderful purple. And 434, Weird Adventure Comics. 435. Now they make weird even bigger, don't they? 437. They've reprinted these Spectre adventures. And then I have a gap between 437 and 445 when it's Aquaman taking over. This needs a board. Yeah. Sure does. So as soon as I film this, finish filming this historic episode, I'll go to the deli and get myself a nutritious breakfast, and my wife as well. Man, this board's not wide enough. This is a Silver Age bag. Okay, 445. Here's 451. That's what Aquaman's supposed to look like. Boy, they sure are delaying this new Aquaman movie. You they were going to cut out Amber Heard completely from the movie, and then they said, no, we can't. She's too crucial to the plot. It'll destroy the movie. I think it's not even going to come out for a year. Here's 459. This is a great cover where they bring in the dollar comics. 460. This is a great one too. I need a board in that. Okay, this phone is about to run out of electricity. Let's plug you guys in. So, what are your pronouns, ladies and gentlemen? I don't want to misgender you. Okay. Wonder Woman in Hell. Fighting to save Steve Trevor. Notice Steve Trevor is blonde. There's a reason. Yeah, it was always a dark-haired hero, a guy, and rescuing a blonde. And so the creator of Wonder Woman thought, oh, we'll have a dark-haired woman rescuing a blonde guy, and we'll turn the tables. How about that? 460. Of course, they never depict him as a blonde in the movies or TV shows. 460. Oh, this is a 462. This is like a key issue that, I don't know. At one point, it was worth like $80. I don't know if it still is. It's the death of the original Batman, the one that was introduced in Detective Comics 27. Here's Adventure 463. This has these dollar comics have wraparound covers. But this needs a bag and board. Okay, 463. And what do we have over here? Okay, the next one we're going to put in is I have 468 to put in here, and an unbagged 475. Let's get a bag for this. Okay. So we're up to, oh, there's another copy of that same issue. $468. $468, 2 copies. And so the one I'm adding in is actually a 3rd copy. And they only printed 3 copies that month, so I own every copy on Earth. Okay, and the one I'm adding in is 469. 470. This one has inks. This is the first time Klaus Schwab inked for the DC company. Klaus Schwab was, and he later started penciling and inking. This is 471. Okay. Adventure Comics 0. Ridiculous. Oh, there's some more. Okay. These adventures in the DC universe were done to look like the They're supposed to look like the Bruce Timm art from the Batman the Animated Series from the 90s. So it's kind of set in that animated universe. Say Adventures in the DC universe. It's in that animated universe. I don't know if these are valuable. I doubt it. They could be. This has, I didn't notice this has Catwoman in it. This is number 11. Look at how the ads just looked horrible in this era of the 90s. But yeah. What can you do about it, man? Nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Oh, and this adventure number 475, I was supposed to get that in there. We're at an hour, 20 minutes in. Okay, that was 471, 475. Adventure, okay. So I'll get these in here. Now, we have Fear number 7. And why is Fear in the A section? Because it rapidly becomes Adventures into Fear, and I filed it here because it's only called Fear for the first few issues when they have reprints of old monster comics. But then, wait a fucking second. Where are... Oh, you know what? Yeah, most of them I actually filed under F. So I got to make a judgment. So I'm going to have to get this box out when I get to the F box and bring, because I go to number 25, and I know I have the First Man thing and all that. So I don't know. Do you file this under F for Fear or A for Adventures into Fear? That's 26. I've got to get them all together because there's 27. Yeah, that's what I did. There's 28. This character used to be so cool in the 70s, but they kind of ruined him in the 90s, and then they made that terrible movie. Let's see. The next thing I need to put in here is this Alf annual. Okay, Adventures on the Planet of the Apes 1. These are just reprints from the black and white Marvel Planet of the Apes magazine, but they added color as a kid, but they reprinted them like, it seemed like a year later. It seemed, so I didn't actually buy all the issues because as a kid I had limited money, and it's like I already own this, but they have cool new covers and they have color. You know, it's just like all these people having to buy the whole Walking Dead series over again because now it's in color. You know, it's just like, just at a certain point you think they're just ripping me off. Look at this great Alfredo Alcala. He could really draw skeletons. Oh, speaking of skeletons, I got a mail off John Goris's painting today. I got to go do that here in a second. I'll get food for my wife and I, and then I'll do that. Here's Alf. Speaking of my wife, I kind of got these Alf comics mainly for her. It's 4, because this is something she liked as a little girl. I think I might have watched an episode of Alf once or seen it in passing. I was aware it existed, but she's 13 years younger than me, so there's that Sonny Bono gag again. Sugar and Spike did that too. I think a lot of Funny Animal Comics did the thing where the skis go on either side. It didn't work for Sonny Bono. He tried it, didn't work. Alf 21. I shouldn't be mean about Sonny Bono. He was a good guy. 27. 29. Unfortunately, I don't have the issue of Alf where he's fucking a seal. I mean, there's no way to get around it. I mean, he's clearly Whoever was the editor at Marvel at that time was like had problems. Man, it got up to 40 issues. Now, Marvel was like getting every kind of possible. There's Alf Annual 1. They were just getting licenses from every show, everything, every toy. Okay. Ugh. This is Alf Annual. It has the parody of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the New Age Mel Mutant Abstract Turtles. Actually, what I'm trying to put in here is not an annual, it's a holiday special. Here, I have 2 copies of this one with the turtle parody. Okay, so this is the supersized Alf holiday special. It goes after that. Okay, now we're into All-Star Comics. Oh, this is a sore spot, motherfucker. This is where I should have that issue of All-Star Comics with the first Power Girl. But it's not here. I have 59. And this really bugs the shit out of me because I bought that off the newsstand and I have that, but where is it? It's somewhere in a box, and I'm like real close to actually, like if you have an extra copy of that and you're willing to sell it, not gouge, I might actually buy it from you because at this point I might just buy it again. This is a great series. It's really cool that they just started the numbering with the 1940s numbering. It's number 64. That's great. I think the numbering should be more sacred. Lately, what they do with comics, look at this Wally Wood art. They just start the numbering over every few months or every year or every couple of years. So I think there should be only one Amazing Spider-Man #1. There shouldn't be 70 different Amazing Spider-Man #1s and all these different variant covers. It's just, we're up to 73. 74, I'm just kind of hoping that it'll just be out of order and it's just going to be the next one I pull up. 74, this one needs a backing board. Nope, because we moved to All-Star Squadron. Son of a gun. Well, we're getting close to what I know the limit is on this phone, and I have a feeling that it's soon gonna the show's just going to unceremoniously end. So if it does, I've had a wonderful morning with you fellows. You fellers. And according to YouTube, there's at least a couple of women that watch this show, so I shouldn't say fellers to everybody because I'm misgendering you. Whippet Lass in England, I haven't heard from her in a while. Oh, this needs to be put in there, Adventures of Kool-Aid Man. She used to be comment on like every video. Hopefully she's okay. This must be a Golden Age board. I wish I had more Golden Age comics. I'll just take this out of this old bag anyway. Oh, man. What the hell is that? I'm actually starving. I didn't want to tell you that, because then you'd feel bad keeping me here. This is 74. And then we have All-Star Squadron #1, which is a comic I like. It's relatively easy to get a run of All-Star Comics. I think there might be a couple of key issues, in there, but it's not a book that the speculating idiots buy. I still haven't seen Black Adam, the incredible new film. They have a version of the Justice Society in that, and of course the TV show Stargirl has a separate version of the Justice Society in it. Here's All-Star Squadron #2. I don't know if I have a complete set of All-Star Squadron, but I have a lot of them. Adventures of Kool-Aid Man needs to be put in here. I think I'm going to pull these Fear comics out, and then I'm just going to have to put them in with, because I don't want to have to get this box back out when I get to the Fs. So I think it's not that I'm making the decision, it's just being made for me that that Fear, since it started as an F comic, I'll let it stay as an F comic. It's like Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. I may have been the last asshole that refused to file it under S for Spectacular Spider-Man. I always filed it under P. But now I've given up on that. There's too many Spider-Man comics. I put all Spider-Man comics under S. I put all X-Men comics under X. As you can see, I don't really have an amazing comic collection. This is pretty pathetic by most of your standards, because I was too diverse a collector, as I've told you before. I would buy records and toys and posters, and sometimes I'd even actually buy food. Here's All-Star Squadron #3. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, man. That's #3. Another copy. What the fuck? There's no 4. There's no way I don't have a #4. Well, doesn't look like I have a #4. Here's 5. This #6. Let's take it out of this old bag. No offense to you old ladies out there. Don't want to misgender you as an old bag. Okay, All-Star Squadron. Okay, so that's #6. And then we have another copy of #6. And then we have a book that's not even bagged or boarded. #7. Coming on big, you can get a model kit of a big rig truck, man. This is like the truck that Night Tiger broadcasts to the 4-Color Fossils show from sometimes. All-Star Squadron #7. And another copy of #7. And #8. #8. What next? Another copy of #8 without a bag or board. Ladies and gentlemen. So how are you guys doing this wonderful 2023? It's just such a great year already. Okay, so that's #8. #9. #10. #11. #12. I really like seeing Joe Kubert draw these great covers. 13. another copy of 13. Number 14, a great floating head cover. All-Star Squadron. Yeah, Roy Thomas really had fun with the Golden Age heroes at both Marvel and DC. DC kind of tricked him. They didn't give him a warning that they were going to mess with all the characters with Crisis on Infinite Earths. But 14 again. Another floating head cover, number 15. Does this board fit? That's another Golden Age board. I had all these organized by time period, these boards and bags, but the best laid plans of mice and men sometimes go to chagrin, man. Everything got tore up and confused and messed up.
Fuck you, man. That doesn't work.
So, how do you guys like your cheeseburgers? Do you like cheese on them? Okay, 14. Did I show you 15? Aren't they amazing? Incredible. 14 and 15. Oh, cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. 14. Oh, wait, some of these are out of order. What? Here's number 8, out of order. How'd that happen? I have 2 copies of 8. Okay. 15. 16. Another 16. And 17. Here's a 17 without a bag or board. Personally, I liked it when Lego was just Lego, and then you just buy a bunch of Lego, you'd make whatever you wanted out of it. Then they started selling sets where you make it. It's like a model kit. You build something. I don't like that. I'd rather just have the creativity to build whatever I want. That's the way it used to be in the old days. 18. 19.